What counts as a wrestling match? It should be an easy question to answer, two or more people competing in an exhibition of wrestling moves where the outcome is predetermined.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Hold your horses, I get it, please. I'm on a roll here. The purity of wrestling can and has been brought into question, and unless a match is presented as serious competition, it should be discredited, or worse, not called a wrestling match. But I think, why limit yourself? Wrestling is such a broad genre, and its relation with reality can allow you to do some very interesting things with the format. Have wrestling with blindfolds, in a cage, in cages stacked on top of each other, or with an invisible man, or two invisible men. Or screw it, just film an empty ring and have invisible commentators narrate over sound effects of what is happening. Have a blow-up doll be one of your longest-serving wrestlers. Have a match that takes place on someone's compound, in an abandoned warehouse, in a water park, on a truck barreling down a highway, or even have a match inside someone's mind. Isn't this so much more interesting and varied than having a match use the same format as it did almost a century ago? But what would happen if you cranked those aspects up to 11? Welcome to the wonderful world of Makai. I was first introduced to Makai via Hikaru Shida's Twitter, as she is part of the promotion and is really passionate about it, and I can see why. Makai is a fun and entertaining promotion and nothing like anything I have seen before. Makai started in 2014 and, as described by them, is hybrid entertainment. Shows mix wrestling, music, and special effects to create something that is unlike anything else. Makai's story is fairly long and convoluted, so I'll do my best to recap it. Makai is a place that is created by people who passed away, who hold grudges and curses. There they have heroes who call... also a place hold on, this is where it gets where they seal disasters and misfortune. Is trying to take over. Alright, never mind. Makai has been running for over half a decade now, and each show is episodic, so they lead into one another in a long, overarching story. But me personally, with all the factions, sub-factions, and all the regal names people have, I think I would have a hard time following along anyway, even if it was in English. All you need to know is that there is a world called Makai, and there are 3 factions vying for control over it. A good faction, a baddie faction, and a chaotic neutral faction. It's not all that necessary to know the story though, as the main appeal of Makai is sick shit like this. This is the main appeal of Makai for me, the mixture of music and choreographed fights, the post effects on moves and sword clashes, and how committed everyone is to selling this. No offense, but I get big kids in a playground playing Dragon Ball feel when watching Makai. Dual wield. But that's why I love it. You have scenes of characters conversing about an overarching battle, then someone draws their weapon and the lights dim, a kick-ass guitar starts playing, and then 2 fighters start throwing fireballs and putting up energy barriers. And all while there's some guy on the stage just throwing shapes. He's not involved in the scene or playing any instruments, he's just there as a hype man, and it's sick, it's piss. These aren't the only differences that make Makai stand out from other wrestling promotions. The lack of title belts is a big one, and I thought titles could be incorporated in some fashion. Like they are some ancient artifacts that bestow power, or are proof of a lord's dominion over his land and subjects, or something like that. But I'm sure if title belts were a thing, they would be called something ridiculous and another thing for me to keep track of. So maybe it's best they're absent. And in their 2 most recent shows, Makai has gone from performing in a wrestling ring to be on a more traditional stage. You may have been able to spot some familiar faces in the clips I've shown. I've mentioned Hikaru Shida being associated with Makai, but Makai over the years has had many very prominent Puro stars star for the shows. This can be a fun aspect if you are watching as you pick out familiar faces that are covered in fancy costumes and makeup. From my time watching, I have noticed stars like John Kasai as a pirate warlord, and Ladybeard as a former devout Christian who went to hell and has since been reborn as an evil missionary. It's sick. There's Kana. No, not that one. Asuka. No, not that one. Alright, okay, that one. God, I hate this. So, Makai shows used to take place around once a month, but because of the coronavirus, they have decided to hold off putting on shows, which is understandable as crowd participation is important to the shows. And so the best way to watch is via Makai's YouTube page. Here you can find a variety of videos, and whilst Makai shows have been postponed, content is still being produced. They have been doing VR matches in historic looking locations, which makes me think this is what the world of Makai is supposed to look like, but I prefer the thought of it being like a colourless spiritual wasteland. On the YouTube page you can find a variety of playlists that range from selections of matches to short recaps of older shows. You won't be able to understand them though, where it's so easy. Fortunately, the English support is surprisingly decent. It's a little spread out, but it exists. The Makai website is entirely in English, with show recaps and character bios, and even on the YouTube page there is a playlist of fully translated shows. This must have been a huge undertaking, and whilst it's a shame that it's only 4 shows, at least it's something. And it helps you get an idea of what you're in for. Not all shows are on the YouTube page though, only some of the more recent ones are, and a lot of their catalogue is spread out on multiple platforms. Older shows from say 2014 can be found on Nico Nico. Now, Nico Nico is a mystery even for me, but signing up and subscribing to the Makai page should allow you to watch the shows. Don't get Nico Video Premium. There is also another site called DMM that I've never heard of, but you have to buy shows there separately. And then there are shows that I can't find at all. I would talk about issues I have with the promotion, but as it's not really run like a traditional one, not sure where I can place my criticism. I would like shows to be findable more easily. The YouTube channel has trailers for shows, but no links to them. Same for the website really, no links to where shows can be watched other than a link to their YouTube page. And I only stumbled upon the Nico Nico page by accident, so Makai letting people find and watch your shows would be a big plus. Yeah, you heard it here first, being able to watch shows is important to enjoying a promotion. Makai is not like anything I have seen, and people may debate if it is pro wrestling at all, but limiting to what pro wrestling means, more outlandish ideas won't happen. And if the show isn't for you, that's fine too. There is a plethora of other promotions that might appeal to you, and... No, wait, this match ended in a pinfall, and this one ended in a triple countout. This is absolutely pro wrestling. Hopefully this has piqued your interest as something that is a bit different to what you typically watch. Makai is a clear passion project from everyone involved, and I want to see it come back stronger than ever when it can, as the eternal battle of Tsurihime has only just begun. Thanks for watching. This is just a quick thing that I wanted to do for a long time. I don't want to become like, say, the Bible of Makai, throwing together guides and top 10 lists or whatever. It's just something I thought was cool and I wanted to share and check out and give more exposure to. But it's also an important thing that I want to do as well, branch out a bit from Tokyo Joshi, because there's only so much I can cover from that, and there are female wrestlers in this promotion. It's Joe Shizzle, not Tokyo Joe Shizzle, you know what I'm saying? So, I'll see you next time for the next career retrospective. Ta-ta.